What's up, geeks and gamers? My name is Draven, and welcome to Thorium Gaming. We're back with Light of the Asur, our attempts to keep Ulthuan safe and stabilize the Great Vortex to prevent the world from plunging into chaos and anarchy, and of course being destroyed by the Ever-Chosen and his vile forces. We're currently getting prepped to do our next ritual, and we've got Sunshine, we've got Agnew, and we have Phoenix getting prepped around 3 of our major cities. When we do the ritual itself, it is going to involve Lothern, so our capital, the Griffin Gate, which is over here, and Thorium, which I'm currently stationed as. Of course, my avatar is Tyrion himself. We've been trying to build up towards it. The Ratmen, the Vile Skaven, have failed their attempts to destabilize the Vortex. The Druchii, the evil Dark Elves, and Hexodal, the Lizardmen, have been trying to get towards their rituals, and they'll probably initiate them soon. We're going to have to start focusing on this a little bit more, but I'm not too worried right now. So we're going to be building up our forces. We're going to get those cities secured, and we're going to deal with any of the Chaos armies that are going to come up. We do have forces being trained at all of the cities. Some Lothern Sea Guard for Sunshine. Agnew's getting some White Lions of Shrace. And we have a couple of dragons being produced for Phoenix. So we're probably going to send Phoenix up to the Griffin Gate. It's fairly well secured. That is the wrong button. It's got a massive garrison and would more than likely be able to hold out against any assault. Of course, on the coast, I've got a Phoenix, a couple of Eagle Claw bolt throwers, a lot of archers, a few spearmen, and, of course, my glorious self. Yeah, I'm playing that up a little much, aren't I? But it doesn't really matter, because we're having fun. So, Phoenix is going to go to the Griffin Gate, I'm going to hold Thorium, and between Agnew and Sunshine, they should be able to hold Lothern. The Chaos armies that are going to be coming are going to be a lot tougher than the first ritual, so we're going to have to be prepared. We have been trying to confederate with a lot of the other elves, and the pirates of Sartosa have been going up and down the coast, bugging Yvres a lot. But that's Yvres's problem, not ours. And Safri, of course, has been wiped out. The White Tower is now in Avalorn's hands, and Port Elistor belongs to Yvres. Probably try and confederate them later on. We're not going to activate the ritual this turn. We're going to go on to the next one and see what happens. And of course, we still have a few Druchii back on here, and Chaplin Grimuldis is way up north on his beautiful Sun Dragon, getting ready to wipe out some more of the blighted Druchii from our island. Probably going to have him swing around to the east and then head south to cause some problems for all of the Norse and everything that are trying to raid our beautiful island home. Kuthik's actually doing a fair amount of heavy lifting. I wonder if they're going to get involved and help us with that fight. Be nice. I'm not going to count on it, but it would be nice. We do have a military alliance with them. So we'll see how that ends up as we go along. Still kind of worried about the Druchii up north and the Norsemen that are coming down. They're not going to get involved with the Chaos Invasion too much, but any instability that we have on Ulthuan will make our job of holding our cities a heck of a lot harder. And again, I have no idea what the pirates of Sartosa are doing. I really wish I did. Of course, I would love to upgrade all of our archers to the light armored version of the archers. It's worth sacrificing the experience to get that extra armor bonus. I know experienced units you want to hang on to, you want to try and rebuild them as they get hurt and damaged. But the difference I've been finding between the unarmored and armored versions of the archers is actually fairly significant. So it looks like one of their witch elf hags, I think they're called, tried to assault Chaplin Grimuldis and failed. And for the Dragon Armor of Venerian, we got some influence, some way fragments, and some gold. And now we have to have 2 White Lion Ashrace units inside our army, well, my army, to keep going. And Phoenix got the Builder trait, and we now have to occupy the Phoenix Gate for a side mission. We're not going to be worrying about that just yet. There is a small bit of news to update for everything that I've been doing. I have gone through and done some extensive testing on these little islands that keep popping up. The Skull Reefs are almost always a I can talk real good. Vampire Admiral Horde. So 10,000 gold, an item, or a follower for one of your lords. Pick these up if you can. 10,000 gold at a crucial time really, really helps you out. So we do have a hero that hasn't moved, and that's of course Senina. I wonder if you'd be able to wound that hag. 34% chance? Might as well go for it. Even if you fail, it's all good. And of course, you can't enter into Chaplin's army because he's full up right now with a lot of archers and a lot of spearmen. We'll be upgrading him to some better stuff as we go along, but that will be after his campaign against the vile Druchii is done. We're going to wait a couple of turns to see if we can start getting them hit by attrition. It's not that I fear the fight, because if we all remember when he assaulted the last city, I believe it was Toranlek, he landed on the walls and cleared them fairly effectively with that dragon of his. Because Chaplin is awesome in this. Chaplin's awesome in general. Great guy. We do have the ability to upgrade the Shrine of Azuran. We're only making 1,100 gold per turn. I don't really want to jeopardize that too much. So Agnew, you have a really solid force of really hard-hitting soldiers. Let's get you a couple of archer units. And let's make it 4. And then you'll be sitting in Lothern itself with, of course, Lothern's awesome garrison. Pretty quick here, we're going to be able to upgrade and get a Star Dragon and some Dragon Princes as part of the garrison for it. And that is definitely not going to be a bad thing. As soon as Sunshine's finished training up her Lothern Sea Guard, we'll get her to go sit near Lothern itself, and then we will activate the Vortex Ritual. So 1 turn on that, she'll come down. Phoenix should be up in the Phoenix, or Griffin Gate? Griffin Gate. By that time. Let's get him to quick march up there, just to take down some of the time. A lot of our other settlements, too, are starting to do fairly well. And I do love Val's Anvil for the High Elves. Look at this. It's beautiful. Of course, home of the dragons, so I would love it. So let's end that one off. And what ritual do we have available? Just the Invocation of Val? If we had more money, we'd be able to do these. And we're probably going to save the Invocation of Isha until after the Chaos Invasion has been dealt with to get rid of all the Chaos Corruption they bring with them. So 1 more turn and we will probably activate the ritual. And of course my challenge is still out there for you guys. Holiday season's all here and everybody's focusing on the materialistic gains that they can make or give away and all that sort of stuff. My challenge is take a game you love, bump the difficulty up, and have some fun with the challenge. It's even better if you can sit down with your friends, your family, friends that are family, family that are friends, and game together. Use the time to remember what's really important, and that's the people we choose to have in our lives. People use the saying, blood is thicker than water, but that's actually a truncated version of the original quote, which is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. It was used by soldiers back in, well, the Sword and Shield era, saying that the people that bled beside you, that chose to stick with you through thick and thin, were as close as family. And I truly believe that. I dedicate a lot of titles, like brother and cousin, all that sort of stuff, to people who are not family. Not by blood, anyway. It's just people who have always been there and have cared about me for my entire life. And of course, there's a ton of gamers out there now that are all joining in on the fun. So let's actually jump in and see what this fight's going to be like. We have one set of siege towers and a battering ram. It's only one more turn to get another 2 siege towers. They have a lot of archers though, and it's the archers that are worrying me. Their cavalry doesn't worry me as much. But if we can get them to suffer some attrition, maybe 1 or 2 turns of attrition, so Chaplin's probably going to be still sieging them when the Chaos Forces arrive. But you know what, that's okay. Chaplin has been doing a lot of work for us, so you know, he deserves a little bit of a break. Sunshine, we need you to come down towards Lothern, and Agnew, let's get you to go into Lothern itself. We will save what little money we're making a turn, because we've hired a lot of troops now. Phoenix, you need to get your butt in motion, get up to the Griffin Gate. And I should probably switch out of March stance into normal, because I'm going to have to deal with Chaos Forces that are invading. And yes, it would suck to lose rank 8 archers, but I have really found, especially when you're fighting the Skaven who spawn those units of clan rats on you, unarmored archers get chopped to pieces. Armored archers can actually fight back and win in a lot of cases. And Torhanrock will give us some more spearmen and archers, so I'm not too worried about it there. One more turn, and then we will begin the event. The only army I am entirely confident can really take some names in this is going to be Phoenix's army, because those dragons are powerful. I have a lot of respect for the monsters in this game. Usually, every army in previous Total War entries would have 1 or 2 units that were good, and you would find their armies made mostly of them. Dragons are too expensive to do that with. I think the only army that can pull off the full monster list is the Lizardmen, because they get a special spawning of an army like that. But otherwise, they're too expensive to maintain, but their power in a single army cannot be overstated. Alright, so we've got a choice. We've done You Can Dance before. We'd lose some income off trade agreements. You know what, I think we're going to favor Illyrian this time. We're not hurting precisely for influence, so we'll get an Illyrian Horsemaster. And we just completed Precise Fletching, so our archers are going to do a lot more damage and have more ammunition, which, let's face it, is awesome. The elves of Ulthuan are well known for their archery skills. We're going to grab cultural advancements. It's going to drain our treasury fairly significantly, and we'll probably have to dump some units after the Chaos Invasion. But it's a price I'm willing to pay right now. Chaplin, you're just going to keep assaulting them, and when their garrison runs out, we'll give you 1 or 2 turns to let them suffer some attrition, then you'll go in. Sunshine, you should be over at Lothern this turn. Not the biggest army stacks in the world, but working in concert, you guys should be able to handle anything, especially if you're using the garrison. And Phoenix, can you make it? You can't even make it this turn, really, in March stance. But that is okay. We are going to activate the Ritual of the Seafarer. Takes 10 turns to complete, but once we deal with the Chaos armies, it's not hard.
The ritual is underway, my lord. Even working together, it will take your greatest adept some time to complete. Such is the ritual's power that the great vortex itself distorts under its pull. Be wary, though, for while the vortex is weakened, the forces of chaos will slip into this world. Ready your defenses, for they will doubtless be drawn to the ritual's power.
So we've got 2 different armies, and 5 stacks of chaos. And they are pretty tough stacks at that. But the ritual text lied to me. It appears it's the Glittering Tower. Not Torhanrock. I thought it was Torhanrock. However, if these guys split up a little bit, we should be able to ambush them with my army. We might have to bring the Chaplain back. Well, we will see what's going to happen in the next turn or two here. Can't guarantee exactly what's going to go on because chaos is chaos and chaos is evil, and there is a skull reef there. They're going to have to pass by Vol's Anvil. We don't really have the money to bring in another lord right now, but I don't think we have a choice. So respectful isn't a bad trait. I think we're going to recruit that lord. So we need to grab a name off the list for this guy. Put my list over here. I had mostly the right page this time. Still not paying attention fully, but you know, I plan these things out incredibly. Yes, please laugh. Please laugh. So we're going to toss in Auric. Another really cool gamer, good friend. And while you've already hurt our treasury coming in, and it's going to take us some time to do anything, we're going to give you the basics of an army, then you might be able to support us as we go along. And you might grab that skull reef, which definitely wouldn't hurt. So let's see what the Chaos Forces are going to do. I'm really hoping they go up towards the Griffin Gate. No, we're not going to peace with you. For all my fellow Canadians out there, be warned, if you're east of British Columbia, winter is coming. It's very much coming. It has been cold as all hell here lately. As long as you read Dante's Inferno and understand where that phrase comes from. So, if you're out east, be prepared. And for anybody who gets extreme winters, yeah, winter is almost here. We are not signing peace treaties with any of the Druchii factions. Might hurt us in the end by doing it that way, but they are Dark Elves, who are intent on recapturing Ulthuan for their dreaded Witch King. What we might end up doing is grabbing that skull reef right there, the one off to the east of us, the one that's near Calidor, and sending a large intervention army over to Malekith Slayer, because I believe they started their ritual right now too. So what I'm hoping for here is these guys separate enough that they're not in reinforcement range of one another. And we are going to lose a few cities along the way. It's going to hurt our income pretty badly. We should be able to survive it. So it does indeed look like they have separated. But we're losing cities, which sucks. However, they have separated enough that we can fight them. So those ones will be dealt with. And then these guys, as they're coming in, are going to take a little bit of attrition out on the open ocean. And Agnew and Sunshine should be able to handle them. At least I hope they'll be able to handle them. But you never know. Well, it seems like everybody decided to start their ritual this turn. Lizardmen and Negerond. Torian Rock, I'm not worried about. Losing a couple of cities did hurt our cash flow fairly significantly.
Your orders are reasonable. Your decree.
But Phoenix, you're probably going to have to deal with them, and I have a dragon for each one of your hell cannons, so I'm not worried. We'll reclaim these cities as we go along, and then probably confederate another member of the Asur later on to help us out. So, Auric, your first act as a general of Ulthuan, get us that Horde of the Vampire Admiral. So there's 10,000 gold. Even though we're losing a little bit of coin per turn, we're not in a bad place because of it.
Prince of Ulthuan.
Let's check out what this warband, or these warbands, are bringing to us. Can't really see, but it's an 11 stack and a 14 stack. Their leaders are fairly high level.
Guardian.
That first intervention, I'm not worried about the lizardmen. We're going to have to beat them in the end. But for now, I don't want the Dark Elves being up near us. So we're going to send a desperate intervention to them. It's going to cost us 10,000 gold, but that's okay. And this army has a lot of hell cannons. Tor Anrock gives us a bunch of archers and a bunch of spearmen, which are not going to help against hell cannons. But we have a phoenix and a couple of eagle claws. The phoenix will have to do a lot of work on those hell cannons. That's going to be a tough fight. It's a tough call. I'm still debating on whether or not we bring the good Chaplin back down. Let's grab the next rank of Blade Shield for PC, since he's going to be doing a lot of work in the next few fights. And let's deal with this Chaos Army.
By Asurian, I lust for battle.
Odds are we are going to win this fight fairly significantly, but you never know. So our reinforcements, they're going to come in from back there. I don't want to separate our force unless we absolutely have to. So essentially where our main force is right now is where we're going to set up. I'm going to bump the archers up to the edge of the woods as best we can. I have started using the archers in front with the spearmen behind. It's still hit or miss for me. I'm not entirely sure which strategy is better. Feel free to argue the merits of both in the comments. Love to hear you guys' opinions on it. Tyrion is mounted now, so I'm going to go off to one side. We're going to get these eagle claws as close to good firing position as we can. And our beautiful phoenix is going to go off over here. Normally, I would love to take this hill and then use the forest and everything to slow down their horsemen, especially those dang chaos spawn. But with our reinforcements coming in, we can't afford to separate our battle line. Let's give it a quick start, and then we'll pause it. We're going to set our Eagle Claws to the multi-shot version. Chaos Warriors are tough. I mean, just look at these guys. Full plate, heavy shields, brutal weapons. Not exactly the guys that you want to take home to mama. Especially the ones with great weapons. Their Marauders, however, are a lot weaker. But they don't really have any Marauders in here. So our Phoenix, we're going to send over here. Try to get a direct line over top of that Hell Cannon. There's two Hell Cannons there. Let's go this way and we'll start bombing them. We're going to take some shots. It's going to happen. The thing that worries me the most, these are technically large targets and would be better shot at by the standard round. But the Chaos Warriors actually worry me more. So we're going to have them get shot. Our archers might take a hit or two on the way in. And we kept things mostly safe off in the woods. And of course our other noble and our reinforcements are entering the field. We're going to try and bring them up as quickly as we can. Of course we are taking some shots from those stupid hell cannons. Let's get ready to start bombing runs. And I found as long as you keep the monster type forces moving, they're rather hard to hit. And that should disrupt them a little bit. We're going to let their forces come in, and as soon as they start looking to get into melee, our Phoenix is going to start taking out their Hell Cannons proper. Of course, we have to avoid the Horsemen as they're coming in. The Chaos Knights are one of the tougher enemies in the game. It's going to be a bit of a pain to keep a track of everything. Pretty quick here, our archers are going to fall back. I'm going to charge forward and see what I can do to deal with these Chaos Knights. Our Phoenix is in an even combat because he's still getting shot. I'm really hoping that I don't screw this up and lose this fight. That would be terrible. So we've routed some chaos. Right now, I'm really counting on our ability to be stronger than them, to win these melee fights. If we can turn back their melee forces, their archers don't worry me at all. And it looks like we're winning pretty steadily across the board.
Sword of the Asur.
I am going to toss out onto one of our units of spearmen. Where am I in this entire combat? Yes, I'm against them. Against the Chaos Spawn. So we're going to snap Sunfang off that way. Do some major damage to those Chaos Warriors, get them to break.
Destroy them.
And if we can beat this Chaos Lord, we will be sitting pretty. And their Hell Cannons are just out of range. We are starting to rout their forces, though.
The Reaper.
Not a bad thing at all.
Very well.
It's looking like we're going to win this fight. Fairly confident that we will. Let's pull our Phoenix back now. Get him out of there if we can. Might lose the Phoenix, which would be a shame. But he did his job. Well, since that unit of spearmen decided to break off, we're going to let them continue their mad charge. Send the rest of our spearmen in to help fight off these warriors that are up in here. A little charge in the flank and the rear won't hurt. And of course, artillery getting caught in melee combat is not a good thing for the artillery. But in this case, it looks like they're completely destroying our morale. And our Phoenix died. With any luck, he will stand back up for us. There's one Hell Cannon down. That is the big thing about this entire encounter that I want done, is to have these Hell Cannons wiped out. Destroying them is paramount for when we go after the next round. They'll retreat from this battle. We know they're going to retreat from this battle. But then they're on the open plain. We're going to have our archers try and kill their lord, so that we engage them. They do not have a lord character. And if we can wipe out those Hell Cannons, most of the incoming damage we're going to take is going to be reduced. That's Chaos armies for you. Tough as nails. Oh. Good job on creative assembly using Chaos Dwarves as the operators of the Hell Cannons. That fits right in with the lore. Good job on you guys. The Hell Cannons themselves look awesome. I know victory is ours, but we're going to stick around, speed it up, and we're going to see if I can charge down this Lord and finish him. Because eliminating him would cause a lot of problems in future to be dealt with. And the enemy Lord is dead, so we're going to end the battle right there. Good job to the elves. We lost a lot of elves. Killed about an equivalent amount of chaos forces, though. One-on-one, their chaos warriors beat our spearmen. We're going to force labor them. I forgot to put the banners on. That would explain a little bit.
Protector of the Everqueen.
Right, so we killed the enemy Lord, and I gained a level in the process. We're going to get Righteous Cause. It's going to reduce our upkeep on all of our forces, faction-wide, and any province I go to now is not going to be as tainted. So they have a bunch of hurt units of everything,
Shield against the darkness.
and we're going to be able to go in and finish them off.
Defender of the Phoenix.
Phoenix, you cannot get into combat with that army this turn, but we're going to send you to try and intercept them.
Lord of the
Oric, you're going to head back to Falls Anvil and probably get some more troops. Since we're back in the positives again,
Of Ulthuan.
Agnew, we definitely want you to be able to beat those guys. Normally, I have avoided Ithomar chariots in the past. I really have. But I did a playthrough where I started fighting every individual battle myself, no matter how trivial or inconsequential to everything. Ithomar chariots are actually pretty awesome. So we're going to grab a unit of them. And we're going to grab a Tyrannok chariot for some mobile archery. I'm not too good at controlling the mobile archers. It's kind of a failing. And to replace the Phoenix we lost, we're going to let Agnew pick up a Phoenix. So in 2 turns, he's going to have 3 really strong units.
Princess of the Asur.
Sunshine, we're going to ignore the fact that you haven't moved this turn. And for our new upgrade, we did unlock the cultural advancements. I want to get Upholder of Order. Because if we can do that, that'll allow us to confederate with the rest of the elves really easy. And then when it comes time for the next ritual, which is going to be just as hard as this one, we'll be able to do a little bit more. So basic plan, Phoenix, you're going to swing south, follow them in, try and reclaim as you go. Not going to be easy. Meanwhile, I'm going to finish off this stack. Oric, you're going to try and intercept this guy with the aid of Phoenix. Doubt you'll be able to do it, but at the very least, you'll be able to help at Lothern. Let's finish these guys off. So let's give a Banner of Swiftness to them, and we'll make this big unit of Spearmen immune to Psychology.
For battle.
Don't really need to see the outcome of this. We know what's going to
A
happen.
glorious victory. Slays
And we'll reinforce ourselves to get a suit of armor out of it, and I gained another level. I would love to get a sense... Actually, let's do that. Let's get a sense of urgency. Global recruitment duration is down, and recruitment capacity goes up, and the recruitment cost for all forces is reduced by 10%. Let's go back in
Guardian of the Phoenix Crown.
and reset these now that I have that. So we want 1 Ithomar, 1 Tyrannok, and 1 Phoenix. But even looking at it with that big stack coming in, that's got a lot of nasty stuff in it. I don't think that's going to be entirely enough. So let's grab you another unit of each of those. It's really going to hurt our income. And we'll grab you another set of archers too. So 1 turn, you're going to get a bunch of forces, and then 2 turns in, you're going to get a lot of forces. Really counting on you to hold that, Agnew. And we do have a mage that has not moved yet. So we're going to send her in, send Sinina in, to steal some technology. And that'll happen next turn. So let's end the turn and see what ends up happening. And now we have a Dark Elf intervention. And there's the High Elf intervention, and as I said, their Lord is tough on a giant dragon with some Phoenix Guard. The Dark Elf intervention is right next to Lothern, but it's going to hit the Glittering Tower. So we're going to lose that fight. We're going to lose the Glittering Tower. They're going to raise it. We have 9 turns now to reclaim it so that our ritual doesn't fail. However, next turn, they might be silly enough to engage Lothern. If they engage Lothern, we're going to be laughing. Our forces are kind of in a bad position right now. We're going to hopefully fight out of it. So stressful. If we fail this ritual too, it's going to suck. Kind of in a very precarious position. Though we've got our generals ready, willing, and able to fight. It's going to be tough. But I have faith. And I'm still marveled every time I play this game. Doesn't matter how many times I see it. The scenery is beautiful. Okay, so this Pirates of Sartosa finally decided to actually engage Yvres. Means we're probably going to have to go to war with them later to get them off of Ulthuan. Filthy Monkai. I have no idea what these scaling are going to do. We're at war with them too. I'm hoping that Kothik can hold them. Seems like everything is just descending on Ulthuan. Please go after Phoenix. Oh, goody. Alright, so we're going to fight this battle too. And then see where the rest of the turn goes. Might be 2 really big fights for this episode. That would be incredibly fun. They do not have a lot of ranged weaponry. They do have those hell cannons, but we got moon dragons. So, my money is on us. I love this map for defending. You get a nice hill here with a couple of bridges that come across. Group our archers up. Group our spearmen up. Groot? I am Groot. So let's set our giant eagle claws up like that. Set our archers on a little bit more of an angle so they can cover a little bit more than that. Our spearmen, we're going to set up right about there. Phoenix, I want you in the center of this mass. We have some Illyrian Reavers, which we're going to keep close. Don't want them off in distance. And we have a Tyrannok Chariot group. But then we have the big boys. A pair of moon dragons. Look at them. Aren't they so beautiful? Beautiful. Oh, I love dragons. So let's start this battle and see what the Chaos Forces plan on doing. So Moondragon's Breath is a magic missile that causes fire damage, powerful explosion, strong versus a single unit, good against large combatants, does a lot of damage. So let's see if we can send our Dragon Bros out on a flanking maneuver. I want you guys to take care of that Hell Cannon. It's the only thing that worries me in that entire army. So let's pause real quick. We'll get you to breathe. And you to breathe. So the dragons should be coming in now to use their breath weapons. They don't have any other ranged really other than that. They have a second hell cannon, but again, dragons. So dragons is going to do what dragons does. Let's just speed it up a little bit. And our dragons are going to use their fiery breath if they ever sort out which one of them wants to breathe first. There comes the first one. Did you even breathe? You did not breathe. So breathe on that hell cannon. You start moving this way. We're actually just going to send you straight off to deal with the other hell cannon. We'll get you to fly over here so you're not taking shots to the chest. As soon as your breath is cooled back down, we'll get you to breathe again. They've left this hell cannon incredibly exposed, so it's going to suffer. A lot. Oh look, you shot the dragon and made it angry. Send you back over to breathe on that one while your brother finishes off this hell cannon. Did it actually destroy the cannon itself? Has not destroyed the cannon itself yet. But now the cannon is gone, so we need you to get back in the air before you get charged. They have a unit of warrior or marauders, looks like, in there. So we're gonna get you to come back over and breathe on them. And we'll get you to breathe on them too. And that should pretty much deal with the hell cannons. Super powerful are the dragons. And that didn't look like it even hit them. But it did destroy the cannon. So now we don't even have to worry about that. Our dragon bros can come back over to our lines safely and get ready to go fill in wherever they're needed.
Eagle Claw.
Let's swap our eagle claws over to the multi-shot. They're just going to sit there and let us shoot them. We will sit there and shoot them. So devastating. It's a bunch of packed up little bundles of arrows getting shot down. Gotta love it. Of course, it's pretty much destroying that entire unit of Chaos Marauders with great weapons. A little bit of Dragon's Fire doesn't hurt us. That's going to rout that unit of Marauder Horsemen. Let's try and pick out a good target for your last breath. So we've used up all the breaths of our dragons now, but they are down their hell cannons. Dragons have been hurt a little bit, not too big a deal. Chaos Hounds do poison attacks. Don't worry me so much if you watch their morale just dropping. Since they have next to no ranged or no ranged at all left, you can just leave that dragon there. He'll be fine. And when they expose their rear to the dragon, he's going to charge in from behind. They're going to suffer a lot of arrow casualties coming in. We can bump up our Illyrian archers and our chariots a little bit to get in range. The devastation of our archers.
Prince of Ulthuan.
And that was our fiery conviction. Send that dragon over to deal with those guys.
We'll be back.
We'll bring this dragon over to do a rear charge on all these guys.
Do not disgrace us. This was not meant to be.
That dragon's routed them, so he's going to come on back.
No.
It is so cool seeing the dragons in combat. I mean, how do you counter that? You just don't.
As you say, for order. Serve the king. Without question. For you.
We're going to reset all of our mobile archers onto them. And we'll send all 3 of our regular archers that way. Eagle Claws, you guys are not needed on that front anymore, so we're going to get you to turn.
Swiftly.
It's a little risky charging a dragon into halberd infantry, but if you watch their morale, there's a reason I did it.
Our masters desert us. The gods watch. Do not disgrace us.
I love watching Chaos guys get stomped. So we're going to get this dragon to take back off. And we'll get this one to take off as well. And it appears we have a victory in this. So for 118 elves, which is still a whole heck of a lot, we killed 5 times our number, almost 6, and we devastated that Chaos army. Of course, the dragons did a heck of a lot of work. And it appears that that army is coming back up to try and help out their beleaguered friends. Don't think they're in range for reinforcement. Now they definitely are. That said, though, we're going to bring me in to help out Phoenix. Then we'll have dragons, my glorious self, and these armies don't worry me so much anymore. We're going to have a Phoenix and a bunch of Phoenix Guard and a squeaky chair and Swordmasters of Hoeth to deal with them. I've been playing way too much of this game lately. I've just been drawn into it. I really, really love the universe. And Creative Assembly has put enough nice little niche touches in it to make it feel like it's part of that universe. And we no longer have to worry about the Dark Elves completing their ritual. The Servants to Chaos have destroyed Dagrak's End, which is one of the cities they had to hold. We have to get the Glittering Tower back. Definitely hurt our income by losing that. But we will be fine in the end. You know, we're going to fire the messenger, because we need the gold. And we have a Talisman of Protection. So, Phoenix, you gained another level. We're going to give you the Speed of Azeran, make you slightly harder to kill. And we are going to get engaged up here in the next episode. Because that's probably a good place to end it for today, guys. Next time, we are going to take on Magtag Darkpath, who has a dragon himself, but doesn't have very strong forces otherwise. give it another turn and hope he comes after Lothern. It's a bit of a gamble.
Guardian of
A little
the
bit of a
Phoenix
gamble.
Crown.
But we're going to have to deal with that. So if you did like the video, guys, please consider hitting that like button. If you'd like to join up with the 232, possibly see your name pop up in one of these Let's Plays, or join me on Wednesdays for one of the Wednesday one-offs, just hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn your notifications on so you know when a new video goes up. Remember, guys, life is a game, so play to win. And until next time, take care.